Welcome to the Big and Little Crochet video, and this is hexagon number 23, the straight flush, and it's called that because we're going to go straight back in forwards in rows, and we are using the blush, hence the flush, and we like a little pun, so that's just my little joke. So I've made a chain of 14 and I only need 12 stitches, and that's because 2 of those are going to be the standing chain, and that counts as your first half treble. So then I'm going to make 1 half treble into each stitch along the row, and I'm going to go under both bars. So where there are 2 each, difficult to explain, each little chain is made up of 3 bits of yarn, and I'm going to have 2 of them on the top of my hook and 1 below. That way, if you have a single strand, it might distort. So if I go, I'll show you, if I go under 1 on that row, look, I get a bit of a hole. That's not so good, is it? So let's do that again and go under both. Ah, you see, you learn it all here, don't you? These little things that you need to know. They don't tell you these things in the pattern. You just are expected to know that that's what you have to do. And don't forget to go into that very last chain. It's quite difficult to go under 2 strands for that one. I'm going to wrap that in there. Okay, now I'm going to do 2 chain and then turn. You can turn and then do 2 chain, it doesn't matter. Now I'm going to increase at either end of the row, so I want to have another half treble into that same bottom of that 2 chain, and then into that next one and into each stitch until you get to the end of the row, and then you do 2 in the last one as well, so then you're increasing evenly along the sides. And in this last stitch, I'm going to do, that's sort of in the top of the 2 chain from the row below, I'm going to make 2. Oh, and my wool's coming with me. Now again, you turn and make 2 chain, or make 2 chain and then turn, it doesn't matter. And we're going to do exactly the same thing again. So this is what it looks like at the moment, and I've got 24 stitches now, so I think that's kind of double this, and it's exactly double that, and it's time to do a couple of rows without shaping. So I'll start off with my 2 chain as usual, but instead of increasing, I'll just go straight into that first stitch. So we just do 1 stitch in each stitch and no increasing, and we're going to do 2 rows. So now we've reached the apex of the hexagon, and we're going to start decreasing the sides. So I've done my 2 chain, and instead of going into this stitch, I'm going to miss one and go into that next one along. And we're going to do the same thing at the other end. So when you get to the end of the row, I've got 2 stitches left, so this stitch and the top of the standing chain, and I'm just going to miss that stitch and go straight into the standing chain there. And that way we start to go back in again. So let's do the same thing again. I've done my 2 chains, so I'm going to miss that first stitch and go into this one here. And you can see that you're decreasing at the side. It's that easy. So decrease at both ends until you get back to the number of stitches that you started with. So I've worked that last row without any shaping, and then I'm going to fasten off, which is good because I've just got to the end of my ball, and there we are. So that is hexagon number 22 done.